I spent 7 years in the corporate sales world, and after finding my own success, I was asked to train others to do the same. In doing so, I worked with men and women who had no previous sales experience coming from other industries. I also helped train veterans of the sales industries that had many years of experience, such as finance managers from car dealerships. It was in working with such a diverse group of people that I found all people had the ability for sales, and there were clearly 7 parts, 7 steps to the sales process that could be broken down, focused on, and worked on. Step 1, which we'll be breaking down today in this video, is the pre-sales process. Step 2 is your greeting. Step 3 is your warm-up and discovery of information. Step 4 is your intent statement, which sets direction and order of the day. Step 5 is your sales pitch, your value propositions and building of value for the customer. And step 6 is your close, getting the commitment. Step 7 is your post-sales process, a truly unique part of the sales process to separate yourself from others. And after breaking down these 7 parts of the sales process, I hope that you'll feel more confident not only in sales situations as a customer or if you're pursuing sales, but also throughout your interpersonal relationships and social settings as well. Because that's what sales is. It's emotional intelligence and interpersonal skills, and they can be learned. So I can't wait to share these with you. I really enjoyed the sales career, but the training was especially rewarding. And when we look at the training of the pre-sales process is typically referencing the night or the day before you interact with a customer. And today we're going to dive a little bit deeper than that. We're going to dive into your why. Because really, in order to be the most prepared to interact with a customer, you have to know yourself. And by knowing yourself, your why is why you do anything in life. It's something that's more resilient than motivation. You know, motivation gives in to excuses and bad days, but your why is a wall of fortitude, which these unmet goals and bummers in life won't interfere with. So really take a serious thought and time to commit to your why and understand what that is before pursuing any goal, but particularly in the sales world. After understanding your why, you can move a little bit more into the realm of routine. And when it comes to routine preparing for a sales day, there's 2 areas we can focus on, being the mind and the body. For the mind, I find it best personally to read as many books as possible, not on a specific set of topics, but whatever you find curious. By reading more books, it gives you more perspectives to have more conversations with a wide variety of people, right? You want to be able to be relatable to each and every customer that you interact with, and books help shed light on different perspectives of the world to do so. The other time prior to interacting with a customer is really your best time to become an industry expert, right? Whatever your field is, whatever world you're working in, it's critical that you become a perceived expert until you are an expert in that field. That is all part of the pre-sales process and showing up to be ready to work. As for mind, you can also use weaponized tools such as music or motivational videos or positive affirmations. These things can help protect your mind against the negativity that you'll certainly interact with on a daily basis, because a customer's job is to tell you no. So those tools aside for the mind, you can focus on the body and exercise. And exercise is really a critical way to cope with the negativity as well. I found the more rigid my exercise routines were and the more committed I was to those, the more rapid and absurd my success was as far as sales goals being met. It's really important to schedule so that you can track your sleep and your free time. So for scheduling, I found it best to break apart my day in 3 separate components. And I broke it into my mornings from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m., and then from my afternoons, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then from, or rather 5 p.m., and then from 5 p.m. till 11 p.m. was my evening window. And I would focus on each individual hour block within these morning, afternoon, and night, and schedule in free time intentionally so that I knew when I had those free time windows, I didn't feel the guilt of getting extra work or extra things done, extra tasks done. I just was totally present in whatever I was doing at the time. So scheduling is a huge part of organizing your life so that your mind can be as clear as possible to interact in a sales situation. Sleep. Sleep is something that I've always taken seriously, but I was listening to Dr. Matthew Walker from the University of California, Berkeley, who is a neuroscientist who studies sleep. And he was saying that when we don't achieve 7 hours of sleep in a night, the brain goes into neurodegeneration and increased risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. So I've made 7 hours my minimum, but certainly I feel like I function best on 8, and I prepare to get 8 as often as possible. Dress is one of the last components of the pre-sale process I want to talk about, because you can overdress certainly for a clientele, and you can certainly underdress. So you have to be aware of your audience, your customer, who you're going to be interacting with. For instance, dress down maybe a little bit, so that any customer can perceive you as one of them, so to speak, one of their community or their worldview. You want to be in their world, and your dress plays a huge part in that. It certainly needs to be clean, well kept, and cared for, because people want to buy things from other people who are organized and well kept. It is simply how we work. So breaking down the pre-sales process at the surface level is important to give you some direction, but I would encourage you to break apart this video and take seriously each piece of it. Because if you can focus on each piece of the pre-sales process and commit time to the reading and the work and the preparation, then you're going to be giving yourself a chance that most people don't already do when they show up for their first day of a sales job. So don't forget these habits. I know they may seem silly or nominal, but it's the aggregate of the whole pre-sales process that is your first key to success in the sales world. Thank you for tuning in to video number 1. I look forward to helping you with your greeting in video 2. I appreciate you.